All right. So apologies for our delay. I think we are up and running now and good to go. Hello, everyone. We're going to start today's broadcast, and that's going to go ahead and start right now. So welcome, everyone, to Read Around the World. All right. Welcome back, explorers. You're not now watching Learn Around the World, coming to you live today from Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine is located on ancestral land of the Wabanaki Confederacy. So we highly suggest you make use of our tools. We can bring that back up for you in just a second. Of our tools at native-land.ca, and you can go find out whose native land that you live on and where you're watching from today. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's broadcast. We have a guest speaker today coming to us live today all the way from Turkey. So maybe we can ask some fun questions about Turkey today as well. And our guest today is going to be Gülistan. And Gülistan, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Do you have an option to turn on your camera?
I think I have, but it says the host has stopped it. I think it's something to do with you, or I'm trying to start the video, but it says the host doesn't allow you.
Okay, we'll see if we can figure that out for you.
Sure.
So as I get that sorted out in the background, would you like to go ahead and introduce your book?
Sure. Can I leave the meeting and come back?
Yes, you can. You can try that. We are live. If you want to go try it really quickly, then we can see if we can sort it out.
There is a connection problem with the video, so nobody can see me at the moment. I'm just leaving. I'm sorry, and I'll be back soon. Hello again, Brandon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you if you want to go ahead.
Think the problem is continuing. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know if you could help me to figure this out, or can we just continue like this?
I would say just go ahead. We've already started, and it seems to be with your connection. So, but we can hear you, and that's okay. So hopefully that's okay. Sometimes your video will kick in. So if you want to go ahead, and we can all see the cover of your book now. If you want to go ahead and just give us a brief introduction to the helpful deer, and then we can read it.
Sure. Yes, today I would like to introduce one of my books on Amazon. It's called The Helpful Deer. I wrote this book last year, about 6 months ago. And the reason why I wrote this book, because I thought I have 2 kids, and I always get inspired by my 2 kids and by other children around the world as well. And I thought that the world needs really more helpful and supportive people. So I just wanted to focus on support and empathy in this book. And that's why I created The Helpful Deer.
Oh, that's fantastic. And we're going to go ahead and start showing some images from the book. If at any time you can begin reading The Helpful Deer for our audience.
Sure. I'm ready now. I can start reading if it's visible.
Yes, go ahead.
And the book is, I think you're going to, because I don't have my book in front of me.
Oh, so you need, okay. So, all right. So we won't show the video then.
I have it, but you need to allow me to share the screen.
I'm going to show it for you, Gülistan,
Sure.
as we talked about. So I'm showing it now. Can you see that?
Yes, I can see
Yes.
it.
Yes. So do you need to read off my screen, or do you have the text in front of you?
Well, maybe if you can help me, that would be better, because I have got my book, but on the screen it's better. It seems better.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. On a beautiful spring morning, a white-tailed deer named Timo was bouncing and skipping in green fields along a calm river. The sun was rising over the mountains and making the green fields sparkle. In a shrubby area near the river, he encountered his raccoon friend Pina. Pina, this is a surprise. Raccoons don't usually like being active during the day. At that very moment, he heard some rustling. Before long, his other raccoon friend, Poddy, poked out his head among the leaves. Timo stuck both of his ears up. Poddy, I didn't know you were here. Hello, Timo. We just wanted to make the most of this beautiful day. By the way, you usually are asleep during the day, too. Where are you going? Timo told the raccoons that he had an injured bison friend named Gambo. Gambo had hurt his leg and needed Timo to feed him until he got back on his feet. Timo chose the most nutritious grass and plants for his friend for every meal to help him recover quickly. After Timo left his Pina and Poddy, he went straight to his injured friend. Gambo had a feast with the food Timo offered him. Yummy, he said, as he moved his heavy body slowly from side to side. How are you today? Asked Timo. Better for sure because of you, my dear friend. I won't forget your support. Gambo snorted and shook his curved horns. I'm so lucky to have a kind friend like you. Timo made a soft grunt. We are true friends, and I'm always happy to help you. I'm looking forward to running with you through the fields again. Timo stayed with Gambo for a couple of hours to cheer up his day, but time flew by in the blink of an eye. Timo said goodbye to his buddy and left. Is that enough, or shall we continue? I'm not sure. I'm so sorry about this video. Can I continue, Brandon, or is that enough? I can get some questions if you would like.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and pause here. So if you would like to put in any questions that you have. So we're seeing in our chat that Zoom was switching back and forth there. Should it spotlight for everyone? There we go. Sorry about that, as it was switching back and forth. So as we look here, most of our audience, they are a little older, and so we can go ahead and just talk about writing the book, and we can tell everyone where they can find the book as well if they would like to continue reading it. And since we have our live audience here, they would like to know, I'm sure, about the process of writing and anything about Turkey that you would like to share with us as well today. So I'm gonna, so we don't have your video, and that's okay. We will get up a picture of you at least, And if we can have any questions from the crowd, from our audience. So we do have some classrooms joining us today. If you'll let us know where you're watching from in the chat, we can get to your questions there as well. If you're watching the live stream outside of our Zoom webinar, then you can, of course, use the hashtag #ReadAroundTheWorld. Or just post right on the comment right on the Facebook live stream as well. And we'll get to your questions live here on the show. So I have a question for you since we are waiting for some questions to come in. And so our last few authors that we've had have been authors that have put in that they have a separate career that's been in the representing the STEM field in our last two programs. And you have many books. So our previous authors have had written one, maybe two books, and you have written many books. Can you let us know about what inspired you to start writing books, and what do you enjoy most about it?
Okay, sure. I think when I was a child, I loved using my imagination and creating lots of stories. But as a child, I couldn't put them through, or I couldn't share them with anyone. So after graduating from university, I started writing some short stories, but I didn't send anywhere. But because I'm an English teacher as well, I started with a publication house to just create some English contents in English. Then my writing journey started in 2006, let's say. Then when I had my first child, of course, like every mother, you just like creating stories, bedtime stories for your children. And my first book, The Gold-Hearted Tiger, it's now on Amazon, was born like this because I started to create a story, and then I wanted to share it with a publication house. Then it was successful. After The Gold-Hearted Tiger, I wanted to write 5 more children's stories in the same style. And then when I finished them, I published them on Amazon, but now they have Turkish versions, and another publisher in India, they want to translate my books in Spanish, French, and Hindi languages. I'm so excited about it as well. So I think, only aim to create some books with a positive outlook for children all around the world, not just in Turkey, because I love children and I think they are our future, and we need to guide them in the correct way. So that's the all I want really to happen in the future.
Oh, wow. Thank you for sharing that. So just so you know, who's some of our classrooms that are watching from around the globe right now, most of them are in the U.S. So we have with us a classroom from Battle Creek, Michigan. So shout out, Michigan. We also have nearby in Illinois, we have Miss Torino's classroom as well. And they want to know, also want to know, are you an illustrator for your books?
Wish.
And if you're not, I'm going to add on. And if you're not, what's the process of, what's it like finding and working with illustrators for your books?
Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not an illustrator. I wish I were really, because illustrating your own work is just like an amazing thing to do. I didn't have time to focus on that part. Finding an illustrator for an author is not easy, but when you find the right illustrator, I think the combination is just great. When you get on well with your illustrator, he or she knows what you want from him, and I am happy that I have a great illustrator now, because I have got some good feedbacks about my book's illustrations as well. So I'm happy with this process. Having the right illustrator is one of the most important points for an author who works with children, I think.
And is that process, does it, what would you say, how long does that process last? So once you write your book and you start working with an illustrator, how long does it take typically to get to some type of finished product with the pictures and the story?
Okay. It depends really, because some illustrators, they can just work very fast. And my writing process, let's start with this. My writing process, I think for a children's book takes about 3 or 4 months. And I work with a Native American, editor as well, to make my books more beautiful and sound like English, of course, because my native language isn't English. Yes, the process with the illustrator, it depends on the work really. It sometimes takes maybe more than 2 months or 1 month. So it's all about the interaction between the author and illustrator and the time you give your work, of course.
Okay. So for those that are asking out there, so she works with other illustrators, and which it sounds like is which is really interesting, the process of writing in several languages. So you have someone that helps with turning your stories into English books and make sure that's a great product for your English audience. So did you have a different person? You said one of your books is published in 7 to 8 languages?
Exactly, yes. I have The Gold-Hearted Tiger now is in Spanish, Hindi, Indian language, English, Turkish, and French. So it's a great feeling for me, and I want my other books to be translated into different languages, because it will be I think my dream will come true if I touch the hearts of children all around the world. My main focus is children, so this is great for me. So I'm working hard now.
That's amazing. And where do you get inspiration for your books? So you've written so many. Are these ideas that you just come up with while sitting around? Do you journal? Do you get inspiration from maybe your children? What inspires you with each of your stories?
I have various sources. I think my children, surely they inspire me all the way through. And I observe other children, and I observe the world and the world around me. And of course, maybe other authors would agree with me. Why an author writes a book? Because you want the world to be a better place. And that's my only aim, I think. I don't only work for the children in Turkey. I want to see all of children happy across the globe. So I think it's something inside my heart that I write books because of these reasons. So I have many reasons. Maybe it's difficult to tell now, but I have many reasons to write children's books, and with a positive outlook for sure.
That's great. And what kind of, when you were writing, let's just say, take the example of the helpful deer here. What were some challenges that maybe with working on the illustrations or maybe the translations? But you said you just wrote this in the past year. And were there any specific or unique challenges with this book? Maybe because of during COVID times that you maybe didn't have with previous books?
All right. I think every book includes lots of challenges. For the helpful dear, I can just say the most important thing to create the story itself and to collaborate with your editor and then pass it through the illustrator. Surely, even my illustrator speaks English, Turkish, sorry. It's quite difficult sometimes to tell them that what you really want to be illustrated. So that was the challenge. And the second challenge, of course, just promoting your book and making your book accepted by other people and publishers, of course, and this is an important point too. I can say, I can highlight these points for the challenges, the illustrator. I think everything revolves around the illustrator to make your story more beautiful.
Well, and I think that's an important point, especially with when we're talking about writing and writing for different audiences, especially with children's books, where we have illustrations are so important. And I think we can all let us know right now, does anyone watching, do you have a favorite book from your childhood? And I think we can all relate to the pictures from those books. The illustrations are so important to those stories. And so
I will come back to that, but before that, and the other challenge for me, because I'm from Turkey and my native language is Turkish, and to write my book in English, to work with an editor, English editor, and my books, if my books are accepted by English people, and this point is very important and it's a big challenge for me, really. So the other, let's come back to your question. Yes, when I was a child, I grew up in a small village. I didn't have many books. I remember my primary school years. I only have these books for my education. I didn't read lots of stories, but my mother, she was my source of tales and stories, of course, and she used to tell me lots of stories. And I was very lucky because I ran in green fields freely, and I had lots of beautiful things going on around me. So I didn't have lots of books when I was a kid, really.
great. Thanks for sharing those experiences. Do you have, so I know folks are wondering out there, in Turkey, so you said English is not your first language. We often like to, when possible, to ask our guests, is there in your experience with speaking with folks that don't speak Turkish, what is your native language, A, and B, is there an easy word like hello, possibly, or any other word that you think would be good for us to learn today?
Maybe some of you have already heard that word, merhaba. Merhaba means hello.
All right, so hello. Can you pronounce it one more time for us?
Merhaba.
Marhaba.
That's correct pronunciation. Perfect.
Oh, wow. Right. So maybe we can all take a bit of Turkish with us today and tell our family and friends hello later on today.
Sure.
Again, if you have questions, we would love for you to let us know those in the chat while we have our guest with us today. If you're just joining us, we're sorry about our guest's video. We like to say here, technology is great when it works, as I'm sure we're all aware of this past year. So,
But
yes, go
sorry,
ahead.
Brandon, this is just like a radio show, but a half radio show because I can't see you now. Unfortunately, you can't see me. So, like a radio show.
There we go. So a little bit of throwback for us today. And that is okay. We have you live, so that is wonderful. What we are going to do before we do have our classrooms that start to head out and move to other parts of their day, we like to, on our Read Around the World guest speaker programs, we like to give out a book that we have read on the show. So today we are going to send a copy of The Helpful Deer to one of our participating classrooms today. And we're going to go ahead and do a random spin of our wheel here today and give out one of your books today. So our lucky classroom winner today is going to be, all right, our classroom joining us from Michigan. So we're going to be sending a copy of The Helpful Deer to Battle Creek, Michigan. So we hope that they enjoy reading your entire book and looking at the beautiful illustrations that you have in your book as well, because I'm sure they're going to be excited to see the rest of it.
Thank you very much, and I hope they will enjoy the book. And
right, and they're saying awesome over in Michigan, and a big thank you is going out to you. So, and I would like to say thank you for joining us here live today as well. So I'm sure kids, since we have students on the program with us, how are your children in school? And if they are of school age, what is a typical school day? Like when do children start school, and when does school finish in Turkey for the day?
All right. They usually start at 9 o'clock and finish at 5 in the afternoon. But some schools are different. We have public schools and, of course, government schools. Government schools are they usually finish around 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And do your children do you get a lot of homework in Turkey?
Yes, and I'm not very happy with that because I think children should play more. But it's a part of education system, so I have to help them out. So there is nothing I can do it. I don't know whether you complain about this in America as well, but we have lots of homework, really.
I'm sure, and all of our students watching right now, I'm sure have lots of opinions about homework, as I do as well.
Sorry, Brandon, I hope they have plenty of time to play and to enjoy themselves, because time just like flies by and you need to make the most of it, really. I'm sending my love and to them, to all of them.
So I think we can all take that with us today as we leave, is make sure you get outside, play, and I'm a huge fan of hands-on learning. So yes, books are great, and that's what we're promoting here on the program, but when possible, get out there, get your hands dirty, and learn with play as well. All right, so thank you for sharing that message with us today. Now, I know that you did. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a picture of it, but you shared with me a picture that I'm gonna show of Turkish delights that you took. you shared with
Yes.
us. And so, as I'm pulling it up for everyone, can you explain what is Turkish delights and what is your experience with it? Is it your favorite type of food?
Sure. Turkish delight, please don't ask me the recipe for it because there are various types of Turkish delight, and Turkey is famous for Turkish delight. I'm sure that some of you, maybe many of you, have already tasted Turkish delight. I don't know much about the history of Turkish delight, but I just like eating it. So I'm sorry I can't offer you any Turkish delight today.
No, no worries. Now, is this it looks like a sweet food. Is it
Sweet
sweet?
food. Yes, absolutely sweet, but with different flavors.
Right. And so is this a typical Turkish dessert? Would you have this on a typical dinner, or is this like a special occasion?
You could have Turkish delight anytime, any part of the day, after meals, before meals. We have a different type of dessert to offer after dinner. It's called baklava. I think it doesn't have a English name because its name is special, and maybe you know baklava. But
Hmm.
Turkish delight is just like any sweets that you can have it anytime, anywhere.
Hmm. That's great. And you are in the city you're in is Istanbul. Is that correct?
I moved out 2 years ago. I was in Istanbul 2 years ago. I lived there for over 8 years. Then now we are in a city very close to Istanbul, about 2 or 3 hours by express train. So it's quite close to Istanbul. And it's very cold and windy here today. It's a cold city in winter.
All right. And just for our audience members that don't know where Turkey is located, I'm gonna go ahead and bring it up on the map for everyone. Um, so as we Turkey is obviously a big country just south of the Black Sea and north of the Mediterranean Sea. And as we zoom in here we were just discussing Istanbul, and uh, and then you are just outside of Istanbul now. So it looks like Istanbul is located on a river that connects the Mediterranean and the Black Sea. Is that correct?
Uh, Marmara Sea. We have Marmara Sea in Istanbul,
Mm.
and Black Sea is not in Istanbul, but Istanbul is just like close to the Black Sea. And it's, I think, the most famous city in the world, one of the most famous cities in the world, and the most famous city in Turkey. But it's not the capital of Turkey. Anyone knows the capital city of Turkey? I
I
hope.
do not off the top of my head. We
Really?
can see if someone uh,
I
lets us
can tell you
know.
now.
You can
Ankara.
tell us though.
Ankara is the capital city of Turkey.
Awesome. All right. So looks like some of our classrooms are heading out, and they are saying thank you so much. They learned a lot about the
Very
writing
well.
process and about Turkey as well. And so we hope to definitely get everyone to go to their libraries or see if they can find online The Helpful Deer and some of your other books as well. And of course, we're going to be sending our winning classroom today over in Michigan. We're going to be sending a physical copy of the book that they can actually pick up with their hands, like you suggested to us, and learn by doing and playing and looking at those beautiful illustrations and reading your wonderful story. So I would like to say a big thank you for coming on the show with us today. If there's any message or about Turkey, about writing, or anything that you would like to leave us with today, please go ahead and do so now, and we will be wrapping up.
Thank you very much, Brandon, for inviting me to your wonderful program. I would like to say to children, please keep reading books and exploring new worlds. And keep playing just like me, because I like playing. I'm an adult, but I like playing with my kids and running outside. So the other thing is our world really needs more good people. And I will be writing more books focusing on this point. And thank you very much for having me here. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. And our both of our classrooms over in Illinois are saying thank you very much as well. Until next time, you've been watching Read Around the World. Keep exploring, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.